Hi, everybody. How are we doing? We have some inappropriate nightlife sounds that need fixing here. Uno momento. How is everybody? How are we doing? Sorry I'm late. Very irresponsible. But, as I like to say, I'm not a good streamer. I'm not good at this. I think we need some beach sounds is what we need. Nice, soothing beach sound. Yeah, an ocean serenade, you might even call it. Maybe a few seagulls. Just quiet little touches. So anyway, we were trying to figure out some health insurance stuff this morning, and that is probably about one half of what made me late. I wanted to touch base on that after Mr. Katie got off the phone. The answer is it's going to be complicated. So that's health insurance for you. Your province is on fire. I didn't know you were Canadian, Ryan. I'm sorry about that. That sucks, man. All right, do you have the orange skies? Is it weirdly cold? I hate that. Ugh, it's so eerie. It feels so apocalyptic. I am excited to be here, though. I've been looking forward to this all week, like no joke. I had so much fun last time. Um, yeah, yeah. The other half of the reason that I'm late is that, sorry, I nudged the mic a little bit there. Yikes. Is that I made a little camera, whatchamacallit, for Pepper. Let's see here. Let me take a look-see at it. Make sure it's all set up right. Look at her. She's splayed out like some sort of weird brown sausage. Oh, I love our little sausage. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Oh, don't fall. Don't fall, camera. Okay. So there's Pepper. She's doing great this morning. And I made our new little border for the camera, and that took way longer than I meant for it to, as these little touches always do. Sickly yellow the other day and woke up and thought it was dusk, right? It's so spooky, the fire skies. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, and we used to joke that there are four seasons. So everybody says there's not four seasons in the Pacific Northwest, but there's four seasons. There's wet, dry, fire, and spiders. Duh. Oh, you're from Quebec. Oh, we have a very Canadian stream today. Well, oh, Canada. God save the Queen. Etc. and so forth. How are you guys feeling about Canada these days? I mean, obviously it's in better shape than the US, but how are you feeling about Mark Carney? I do have some good news. I do have some good news. Our friend Sleepy Time Warrior has released a new mix, baby. A new mix. Check it out. It's called Manatee Music. Look at this little fellow. Of course, we start out with the trombones. I also tweaked the sidechain ducking settings, so it's a little bit more aggressive. Anyhow, we should probably get started here soon. Yeah, that's what I hear about Mark. He's not doing a great job environmentally. Anyhow, should we get started, everybody? Thank you all so much for coming. Let's study some philosophy, or whatever it is you find yourself doing this morning. music volume for you guys. Oh, it's a little bit loud. I think it's a little loud too. Let's turn it down. Especially that part. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm worried about, Ryan. Thanks for the feedback. Tower. Hey, Tower, you are also Yasha, right? Same person as I'm like 90% sure that's true, but I'm not 100% sure. I know, Pepper's killing it today, right? Okay, cool. Do you prefer Tower or Yasha for the stream? Ah, okay. Yasha it is then. Bye, Pepper. We love you. There she goes. And here she comes. Pepper. She wants her treat. That's why she's looking at me. Alright, go boo boo. Thank you for your presence. We love you. Woof. Thank you for your concern, Pepper. Oh, Pepper definitely gets cuddle fatigue. She's honestly not a big cuddler, or at least she doesn't perceive herself as a big cuddler. Like if you grab her and give her some snuggles, she'll warm up to it. But she does not, excuse me, she doesn't choose cuddling by choice. You have to convince her. She's her own woman. right. Oh my gosh. What's everybody working on, by the way? I gotta tell you, I was reading, I've been doing some reading since last Friday on my own, and fortunately, you guys missed all the most boring stuff, like utilitarianism. I think utilitarianism is so boring to read about. Also, like the foundations of, like the philosophical foundations of, like the U.S. Constitution, very boring stuff. Thoreau, I think he's a boring guy. Though I guess what I didn't know is that Thoreau wrote and like coined the term civil disobedience, which is, you know, of course, like a really powerful protest methodology. So in the key frame minds, chilling, chilling. So I thought that was really interesting. I did not know that Thoreau is like the origin of civil disobedience. And I think the story is kind of funny because, like, I don't know if you guys know. So David Thoreau, he's the guy who does Walden Pond. He's like chilling out by a pond for 2 years by himself, and he's like, I am an independent man and I'm abandoning society. But the thing about Walden Pond is that, like, I don't know, it's like a few miles from town. It's like not that far from town. What is the rebel about? So, like, Henry David Thoreau, he goes into town to, like, gets his shoes fixed. So he's not as independent as he thinks he is. And then, like, the constable in town sees him. And the constable's like, hey, you haven't paid your taxes, man. And Henry David Thoreau is like, I will not pay my taxes. I'm abandoning society. Don't worry that I'm here getting my shoes fixed. So he refuses to pay his poll tax and he spends the night in jail. I'm gonna make the audio a little bit quieter. Again, it's just a little bit loud for me. If it's too quiet for you guys, let me know. It's just like, it's very loud in my ears. It's the horns, man. It's the horns. There we go. That feels about right. Oh, it's by Camus. Oh my god, how appropriate. We might get to Camus today. About political and individual rebellion. That sounds so good, Nezpad. Do you like Nezpad? Is that an okay pronunciation for you? What do you like? Say a history of revolution in the world. That sounds so useful. I gotta put that on my book, because I've been thinking, like, man, I don't understand enough historical context about the key revolutions. Haitian Revolution, Bolshevik Revolution, French Revolution, you know? Yeah. Is that any better? That volume? Spending time in jail, offset tax obligations, or do you still owe all the same taxes? See, I don't actually know. I'm not a lawyer. If we had a lawyer, maybe we would know. I feel like in the case of Henry David Thoreau, maybe it shouldn't. Maybe our boy just needs to pay his taxes. But no, instead he's like, I'm gonna do some civil disobedience. Anyway, really quick before we start the session, I wanted to share with you what I was reading about this past 25 minutes. Oh, also pragmatism. I read about pragmatism this past week, which I posted about it. I don't know if anybody here saw it, but it's like this like foundational idea in American like philosophy, like from the 20s on, basically, that like all these like Kantian idealistic ideas and even like the Marxist materialist stuff, it doesn't have like an immediate application to today, what I'm working on to solve like society's ills today. So it's actually a waste of time. That's pragmatism. And that feels like, I don't know, it was really interesting to me because I feel that philosophy like within myself right? Like I was realizing like, oh, well, I'm reading philosophy like for an end, right? Because I am reading it in order to prepare for this, to make this video about zero parades, um, right? And like I'm reading about it to better understand like philosophical ideas, or not philosophical ideas, but like political ideas, and like where the political ideas come from originally. Um, so I thought that was interesting. But anyway, I found reading about the pragmatists, I don't like them. I don't care for the pragmatists. It sounds like a tough read. It sounds like a very tough read. The rebel does. Anyway, so we started reading about the origins of phenomenology, which is this idea of like, what is consciousness actually? So we're going into like a really psychological direction for the rest of the stream, I think. Um, and I think in order to do that, we need to define phenomenology. Um, so how do things appear to your consciousness? What is the content of consciousness? What is consciousness? This is phenomenology. And the word comes from Kant, actually, who says like, all right, there's two worlds, basically. There's the phenomenal world and the noumenal world. And the noumenal world is everything as it is, and the phenomenal world is everything as we perceive it. And because we can only perceive the world through our senses, we only have access to the phenomenal world. And so that is why this word phenomenal becomes the foundation of like the study of consciousness in phenomenology. At least that's how I'm understanding it. You know, Ryan, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I'm going to be using Kant at all. I find Kant very annoying. Just reading about him as I have been. Like, I haven't dug really deep into the guy, but I find him to be, like, kind of annoying. Is that mean? So, anywho, let's see. Is that, oh yeah, okay. And I was reading a little bit about Husserl, and that's where I kind of left off. So, I think we'll get back into it here, if that's okay with y'all. Session 2. Oh, well, I guess I should read more Kant, Ryan, now shouldn't I? Thank you for explaining the joke to my dumbass. Appreciate it. Oh, hey, Sakura. I was late too, so we're late buddies. I'm so glad you're here. Can't be kissing convo, Sakura. And I also assume you mean Kant. I was shitting on Kant. I'll be honest with you. I think he's annoying. I look forward to it. Yeah, right now I'm reading about phenomenology. And actually, I am running into a question here, Sakura. What is the difference between solipsism and Descartes' I think therefore I am, and his like the only thing that I can know is that I exist? Okay, okay. That is really helpful, Sakura. Solipsism is coming up while I'm reading about Husserl, if I'm saying that right, Husserl. And his like rejection of all metaphysical and like theoretical distractions and saying like, okay, to answer any question, we just have to focus on immediate experience. And that's the only thing, like our immediate conscious experience. Which the book says leads you to solipsism. Ryan's right. That was the plot of Total Recall. Russell is also mentioned here. Let's see. Or is he? Is he? Nope. Nope, I confused him with Brentano. I confused Russell and Brentano. My bad. I think he came up somewhere else for me. Okay. Let's see what Bertrand Russell says. The old Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. Oh, this is a good picture. Let me show you this picture of Bertrand Russell. Oh, shoot, it's on the wrong computer. There he is. Oh, jeez. Where'd he go? There he is. Oh, it's a GIF? Sorry, folks, you're not going to see Russell. They saved it as a GIF for some reason. Curses. Understanding the limits of what empirical even means. Yeah, I can buy that. I can totally buy that. I think something that the book is focusing on when talking about phenomenology is like the nature of consciousness. Which, yeah, I can see the connection there. When we experience something, what exactly are we experiencing? Like, where does the bridge between, I guess, could you think of it as like, no, it's not the bridge between the phenomenal and the noumenal world because it's phenomenology. It's just the phenomenal world. I think so, Yasha. That's how I'm understanding it. Interesting. That's really interesting, Sokka. Color blindness must have really thrown that for a loop. Because, like, there's a scientific explanation for that difference. Oh, sorry. Losing qualia in favor of quanta. I have more thoughts on that, but I'm going to wait until the break. Hey Norman, this is a, oh no man, excuse me. This is a study stream, so you can see the little timer in the corner. This is when we're all studying together. And then when that timer comes up, then we'll be on a break for a short period of time. But yeah, it's a mostly quiet stream. But then in the break we kind of talk about stuff. And then sometimes not in the break because conversation spills. But if I'm being diligent, then it does it. It's a secret. Oh, no worries at all. Thanks for the feedback. And you're very good at it, Sakura. All right. Okay, so Qualia and Quanta. I think, okay, Sakura, have you read any of C-Tai Nguyen's stuff? He's a Utah professor. His latest book, something score is in the title. I forget. C-Tai Nguyen. There he is. The Score, How to Stop Playing Somebody Else's Game. I haven't read it. I just listened to an interview on it. Classic, I know. Tires are just numinal lies. I will get to that in a second, Ryan. I have thoughts on this exact sentiment. But anyway, so C-Tai Nguyen's latest book on The Score, How to Stop Playing Somebody Else's Game, is about how more and more life is like not only being gamified, but like how basically the 20th and 21st century were all about converting qualitative things into quantitative things, and how like you start to adapt this sort of quantitative mindset. Some might call it a grind set. Oh, what did your letter say? Um, so I just think that's really interesting with this sort of, what is it that you said before? It was, yeah, I guess evolution of phenomenology to sort of replace quanta in favor of qualia, despite not really valuing one over the other. I do think it's just like more and more we see ourselves replacing qualia with quanta, because it feels more trustworthy, you know? It feels more ground truth is the phrase that comes to mind. Non-play or non-games exist. Oh yeah, like oh heck. Who am I Hunga. Hazinga? Oh geez. Yes. Yeah, is there anything outside of the magic circle? Like increasing productivity without getting much in return. I mean, like effectively, I think that's one of the outcomes of it. Um, but also just, oh, we've come to the end of our song. We have to come up with a new song here or playlist to listen to. Um, but like just generally, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm coming from a science and engineering background, but I feel like the world in general prefers hard numbers to like vibes, I guess, to put it as vaguely as possible and as unhelpful a way as possible. Let's see. Okay, what's next? I know Exy wanted coral reef music, but Exy's not here. Unless they are. Exy, are you here? Okay. Any preferences? Go for tardigrade music. Tardigrade music's always fun. I do veto rattlesnake music. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm afraid of snakes. It was more like telling science what they were already doing. Oh, let me pause it before we get back into it. Vibes can't be proven, but Descartes would say, I don't know if we can trust numbers either. The numbers are more helpful, but the vibes are why I enjoy being alive. Hmm. Yeah. The world likes to see hard numbers, but operates on vibes. I kind of wonder if we're moving towards a world that operates more and more and more on vibes and less and less and less on numbers. Because, like, I don't know, just like think about the stock market. That's all vibes, baby. But they'll tell you it's numbers, but it's all vibes. Egg timer like a prison gate. Okay, oh yeah, I wanted to tell you guys what I was just reading about. Um, so unfortunately, I got to the part of the book about Martin Heidegger, who, as I understand, is a Nazi. So, you know, buyer beware there. Um, and I think what's really frustrating is, and the the nice boys in the Frankfurt school also had this problem, so I don't feel too bad. But like the ideas are interesting to me. Um, and I'm like, and also the ideas make me wonder, like, how the heck do you end up as a Nazi with these ideas? I don't think it's a good thing either, Nespad. I don't think it's a good thing either. But like, for example, this his sort of concept of like authenticity, um, that let's see here. Let me review this real quick. That when we get to make choices that are freely ours, that are truly ours, when we get to make a choice, then that act is an authentic act. Like that's what an authentic act is. Um, and when we are born and we're thrown into this world and we don't get to control where we land in this world and roles get put on us by other people that force us to make that like constrain our choices, and in that we are made to live inauthentic lives. Non-Nazi ideas were made by a bunch of people who were alive in Germany and members of the Nazi Party. Compartmentalization is a powerful mental tool. Yes, no, that's true. When I was reading Bloch's stuff and also Adorno's conversations with each other, they were just like really anxious though, because as I understand it, Heidegger like was the official philosopher of the Nazi Party. So that's like not great. Like he really bought into it, like truthfully. And I find coming across this idea of being forced to live an authentic life because people like put roles on you, and then you end up as like a fascist and you're doing that to everybody around you. That's such a contradiction. So I don't really understand how he ends up where he ends up. And maybe I'm just totally misunderstanding his biography. Okay, he resigned. He resigned his rectorship, it's called. Um, in 1933, he was the rector of the University of Freiburg, and about a year later, he resigned and stopped taking part in Nazi meetings, Nazi party meetings, but still remained a member until the end of World War II. Um, yeah. So I don't know, but then still like, a lot of his ideas then were helpful to the Nazi party in some way. So that's complicated. He was simply a hypocrite. Yeah. I mean, who among us though? Still shouldn't be a Nazi though. I'm not forgiving him for that, but still. Okay. Should we get back to it? Actually, before we do, should we go somewhere else? Should we go on a little journey? We don't have to stay cooped up in this little room. We could go on a train ride. Though I do need to change my clothes for the train ride. That's gardening. That's not me at all. Is it this one? No? Okay, let's really quickly. I'm not procrastinating. You're procrastinating. Yeah, I think this is nice. Yeah. And let's not wear boots. Let's wear nice heels. Some sensible shoes that are also slightly elevated. Yeah. Oh, and I guess we don't need to wear a mushroom hat. Do, do, do. A nice travel hat. Yes. Okay. Good stuff. And then, of course, we need to fix our soundscape here. No more seagulls. Now we need train. Good stuff. Okay. Okay. And then, of course, finally, the music. Essential. I have to move Pepper. Let's do rainforest music. Rainforest music is a good one. She can't hear any of the train noises, and she's never been on a train, so I can't answer this question for you. Here we are. There we go. Most philosophers don't live their philosophies authentically. A bunch of us leftists participated capitalism. Well, what are we supposed to do? Not live in a society? Sometimes you believe in something merely because you're there. Is it just a coincidence that the avatar has an avatar? No, it's not a coincidence. I made it that way. Oh, thank you, Ryan. Okay, let's fix that. Let's fix that. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. There we go. Very subtle. How's the audio? There we go. That feels right to my ear. Let me know what you think. This is totally what I was saying last week, is that I think that we all have like a central conflict within ourselves, and like every artist, and I'm including philosophers in that collection, like is fixated on trying to resolve that conflict, and I think it leads you to often live the life of a hypocrite, right? Just like trying to like solve this conflict. maybe because your understanding of the central conflict within yourself is much more advanced than your like material ability to act on it. Oh my God, Ryan. I feel like that's the second time I've like totally misunderstood what you said. Central conflicts forever though. I still think the train noises were a little bit loud. Yeah, it's nice. Should we before we start the next session, should we maybe have a nice evening ride through the clouds? Morality is a useful framework, but we can't blame ourselves for being unable to completely uncouple from systems that harm us and others. Completely agree, Asha. There has to be wiggle room, you know? Anyway, I'm getting back to it. The Good Place is so funny, dude. I love that show. The Time Knife. Yeah. What was it? Jeremy Bearimy? The one guy who like got it 100% right. Okay, I'll just conclude on this one thing on Heidegger. Um, is that according to this book at least, his conclusion to this like having roles put upon you, um, his like conclusion is that like okay, well, in order to be as authentic as possible in a world with totalitarian ideologies, in a world with like rapid industrialization, is to commit yourself completely to your culture and its traditions, and that's how he ends up a Nazi. But that conclusion, obviously, this is glossing over a lot of his ideas, so I'm getting a really high level view of things, but that like jump from like, and people put other roles on you, therefore you should focus on your own culture and traditions as strongly as possible. That feels like cope to me more than like an actually sound argument. Anyway, okay, I'm going back to it now. I'm done with Heidegger. I'm done thinking about it for now. Okay, here's a question. Maybe Soccer knows. What is the difference actually between analytical and continental philosophy? Because the book kind of just says like, oh, it's, mostly where you're from, with some exceptions. Embrace the absurd, like a little friend of ours named Camus. Okay, fair enough. Thanks, Soccer. I should note that this book was published in the late 90s, so it's a little behind the times. Okay, so it is mostly geographic. Okay. This confirms my suspicions. Okay. Pepper the dog, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pepper. Oh. Pepper dog. Okay. So, okay, it's getting interesting now. I got to search. And I learned that existentialism is not defined how I think it's defined. So I always thought of existentialism as like um when you think too much about your own existence or feel uncertain about your own existence. And it gets really scary. You guys ever have that feeling where you think too much about your own existence and you're like, oh no? Like, I got that feeling a lot as a kid. Because then you think about how you're going to die someday, and that's a bummer. But existentialism, as defined here, if I can look up my own notes and remember exactly what I said. It's the idea that your existence, the fact of that you exist, precedes all of the labels that you receive throughout your life. For example, you exist, and then, according to Sartre, you choose to be a woman, or a man, or non-binary. Used as a shorthand for any philosophy. Existence precedes essence. Exactly so. Which feels meaningfully different. And I just really recognized a lot of Sartre's French ideas, just like have filtered their way into the way that I think about myself. Because existentialism means that there is no such thing as human nature. Humans, he's an atheist, and so he's like, okay, because there is no God, because there is no reason for anything existing, he believes in the absurd. This is where the absurd comes in, which also has a more specific meaning than I was thinking of in my head. Specifically, the universe being absurd means that there is no meaning or purpose for the universe, which is a really specific definition that I found really helpful as I was reading. So, because the universe is absurd, because there is no God, that means there's no such thing as human nature. There is no, like, shared human condition, or there is no, like, oh, I'm just sort of a lazy person. No, you are choosing to be lazy. And when you say that you are naturally lazy, then you are acting in bad faith, which is another phrase that has a more specific definition than I had in my head. To act in bad faith is to, like, cave basically to the societal pressures that are the roles that societies ask you to play. To, like, when people call you lazy, be like, I guess that means I am a lazy person. And that is acting inauthentically because you are accepting the roles that other people are putting on you, as Heidegger put it. So it's like Heidegger's definition of authenticity, and Sartre's using it in this different context where there is no meaning for anything. And so what he comes to, and this is the aspect of Sartre's writing that really speaks to me, is that the self is not a phenomenon. I'm still talking, timer, jeez. The self is not like this single static phenomenon, this single consciousness that does not change. Your consciousness, this thing that we've been trying to, like, pin down in phenomenology, is not like a static thing. It's something that is constantly changing, and it is something that you have to take personal responsibility for. It's a project that you get to figure out. To borrow some of the phrasing from last week, I was talking about, like, oh, you have the central conflict and you have it, and if you choose, you can figure it out. So something about Pepper is that she really likes to chase shadows, and there's a shadow from the window and she's chasing it right now, and it's off camera, but it's very, very cute. Hi, Pepper. Let's see, she's gonna look weird on the camera right now, but let's pull her up. And also she's demanding her treat. Would you like your treat, my love? Well, you know the deal. Can you go to your bed, please? Thank you, perfect girl. Isn't she perfect? But I did just ask her to act in bad faith because she was not choosing to be in her bed. And I asked her to, and she accepted the role of going to her bed, being a bed dog. And now she has left her bed because she understands that she has freedom and choice in this world. Isn't that right, Pepper? Good girl. Good girl. Okay. Listen, if you're not going to hang out in your bed, I'm turning off the camera. I can't just give you treats all day. I know that's what you would like, but I can't do that and be a responsible dog owner. First you be, then you become, and everything about becoming is within your control. Society influences and still impacts you, but you have ultimate say in how. That's the radical freedom idea. Yeah. Okay, cool. That is how I'm understanding it. And this idea of like taking personal responsibility for the project of the self, and the self being like a joyous thing that you get to work on your whole life. That's kind of my world philosophy. I get a lot of strength from thinking about the world that way, and thinking about myself that way, and I feel like it makes me a better person. So, yeah, I don't know. I think this is sort of a pragmatist approach to philosophy, but I guess my feeling is that like the goal of like, so historically philosophy is like, in Greek times, is like an alternative to religion. Like, okay, let's stop thinking about the gods so much and let's start thinking about like these fundamental questions of what is it to be, or what even is reality made of. And it's answering all the same questions as religion, but it's just taking a different approach. And so if it's a replacement for religion, and if the purpose of religion, sort of in a societal, like, top scale sense, is to give people instruction on how to act in life, then like the best philosophy is the philosophy that makes me act in the most moral way. And like what is moral is another thing that we can philosophize on for forever. Oh dog. Oh dog. Oh shadow chasing dog. Pepper, stop it. She's never gonna stop it. She's compelled. She's compelled by the shadow. I don't know if you can hear that, but her nails are really click-clacking. Less sympathetic to Sartre's existential than I am everyone else's. Others take how we are impacted by the world a bit more seriously as outside agency. And it takes work. Use radical freedom. Wait. I don't understand the last clause there. Yeah, I do recognize this immediately as like a weakness of his ideas, that like, oh, you don't choose who you are, or like you choose everything about yourself. You choose to call yourself lazy. But like there are realities that we are limited by, right? Like I don't believe that I chose to be a woman. I think it's a thing that happened to me. Right? And like I don't know, it's just like easy to say that like, oh, you have radical freedom and choice, but like not everybody has radical freedom and choice. I don't know. It takes work to use the radical freedom. Yeah. Anyhow, I really liked most of it. It's one of my favorite guides we've read about so far in this book. And the great thing about this next section is that we're going to get into Camus. So we'll finish off the stream talking a little bit about Camus. We'll finish off by talking about who else in here? Maybe Frigg? Gottlob Frigg? Is that his name? Yeah, but we'll keep going on existentialism. for this next section, and then we'll chat a little bit, and then that'll be the stream. All right. Here we go. Kind of sounds like he thinks you can be impervious to everything external to you. Yeah, exactly, Nestpad. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Beauvoir's feminism. Definition of woman as a social construct of values. Okay. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Hey, Absurdity, what's up? Yeah, I don't think I can do a backflip. I don't think I can. Anyway. What? Sartre refused the Nobel Prize? I didn't know this. Oh, that's so interesting, because he didn't want the writer to become an institution. Ah, well, bad news. I feel like the writer's really become an institution. Yeah, only goes out to Westerners or rebels of the East. Yeah, it's sort of a biased organization. Swedish Academy's response is kind of funny to me. It will be recalled that the laureate has made it known he did not wish to accept the prize. The fact that he has declined this distinction does not in the least modify the validity of the award. So they were like, too bad, man, you got it. I think that's very funny. Anyway. Excuse me.
You should.
Oh yeah, I just got to the section on analytical philosophy. Yeah, I think this distinction's pretty stupid. Oh, the music stopped. Okay, just for the last part of the stream, let me get some new. Quick. Sea creature music. I love a clash of aesthetics. What can I say, Nespad? moment. Okay. Man, I gotta tell you, I know that we've all established and agreed in this stream that the differentiation between analytical and continental philosophy is a little arbitrary, but reading the analytical section, I gotta say this is boring and I don't care. Okay, I will say the most interesting thing about the analytical section is we went back to John Stuart Mill, which you guys missed. I read about him off stream. He's a utilitarian guy. And he does make this wacky little claim. He's like, okay, so I know that folks like Pythagoras were like, numbers hold the truth to the universe. I know. But I'm John Stuart Mill, and I think that mathematics are just like an inductive truth, right? We know that 3 plus 3 equals 6 because, we always just see 6 things together when we put 3 things and 3 things together. Which is so totally wacky. I love this wacky guy and his wacky ideas. And I guess I just kind of wanted to bring it up because the monad is God. Is Spinoza an analytical philosopher? Because I do like a little Spinoza. Spinoza's making it into my Mambo number 5 philosophy rap, I gotta tell you. Anyway, this it's just like probabilistically that's what happens when you put 3 and 3 items is that there's 6 items. It's not like a universal truth or anything. It just is statistically the most likely thing that will happen, which is a crazy thing to think about in your head. But also it kind of reminded me of quantum physics. Right? This like conclusion that like, oh yeah, there's like 2 regimes of physics. There's Newtonian physics, which is like at human scale, and then there's quantum physics, which things get a little bit wacky because of statistical weirdnesses. And these statistical weirdnesses still exist at the Newtonian physics level. It's just you can kind of assume the probability is 100% at that scale. Argues that math is a phenomenal consequence. I think so. Yeah, I think that's an accurate statement, Ryan. That's how I'm understanding it. Here, I'll read it to you. John Stuart Mill thought that mathematical certainty seemed too much like a free lunch. Funny, very funny. He claimed that mathematics is just a highly probable inductive truth based on our human experience of the world. Statistically 100% chance to happen, which like I guess is still statistics. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting. But otherwise, I don't know, man. I'm just tired of math, I guess. That's my frustration with the philosophers that are often labeled analytical. They're just like talking about the questions that philosophy wants to answer that I am less interested in. Maybe that's really what it is. Maybe we should break it down into like philosophical subdisciplines and what like big question are they trying to answer and which questions are most interesting to me. And does math work is not interesting to me as a question, but maybe it's interesting to some people and I love that for them. Anyhow, I didn't make it too far in that study session because I got really interested reading about these sort of political differences between Camus and Sartre and how they like had this big falling out. Anyhow, I found this article that I think I will read at some point on the stream called Sartre, Camus, and Marxism for the 21st Century. Mathematicians beat him to this, though, asking whether math was a true representation, or if it's just how we understand it. How can we assign a number to something we can't experience? I guess because, like like the math that you do on the paper, you can kind of think of it like if I write down on a paper 1,872 plus 9,172, and I do the little like algorithmic way where you carry the one that I learned to do this in school. That's a hypothesis that I'm making, that this is the answer. But then I go and I count all of the sheep when I've added them up, and that's the right answer. Like, I've proved my hypothesis to be true. Don't you let me smoke my cigarettes how I want. Exactly, Sakura, because Camus became a libertarian socialist, where Sartre hung on to communism much longer. And it sounds like he was seeking how to create a new type of socialism as he was living through and watching Marxism be completely wrecked to pieces. The ideas, at least, and their moral validity by our good friend Stalin and his bad choices. And I think that conflict, this like Camus-Sartre conflict of like, what the fuck do we do now? Like, Marxism has really led to some really unethical governments in an unambiguous way. What do we do now? I think this is a central concern that the game Zero Parades is really focused on, and I think it's a question that this stream will keep coming back to. So I'm curious to learn a little bit more about that conflict. I'm adding it on the reading list later. But then as far as this book goes, we are blasting through this thing. We're on page 125 of 169. I think there's a pretty good chance that we'll finish it next stream. And then after that, I think we'll actually get to focus on like I'm going to bring like a specific book written by an actual philosopher. So we won't just be like doing this high level zoom through of like the history of philosophy. We can more like focus in on a topic. Only real experience with philosophy was one of the old Great Courses audio course. That's totally chill, Absurdity. We are doing the intro level stuff. And thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate you being here. Rawls' Veil of Ignorance, but no idea how you actually... Okay, Rawls came up. Rawls came up for me. The Theory of Justice. Yeah, I also added this to the reading list. How it's possible to reconcile social justice with liberal capitalist democracy. Interesting. Huge if true, right? Because I do like being able to buy cheap clothes from H&M, but morally I shouldn't be doing that. So if we can reconcile that social justice and still keep our liberal capitalism, and we don't have to like do a whole big stupid revolution that's going to be so much work, that would be great. But I don't know anything about Rawls, so I don't know. Imagine a force in the universe that we simply cannot observe, and we also cannot observe its interactions. How could we assign numbers and measure? You do find that fascinating. If such a force can exist and nothing says the universe has to be observable, then it is blind to our math. So I agree that math is fundamentally phenomena. I will be honest with you, Sakura. I do not find it fascinating. Okay, this is the horrible thing about me. There are things that are genuinely, like, objectively wondrous that I find very boring. So, and I think it makes me very unlikable as a person. Very easy to hold on to your morals when you're broke. So true, Yasha. So true. Like, for example, I find dinosaurs boring and not that impressive. I think it's cool that they existed once. That's kind of crazy. But I see like dinosaur skeletons and my first reaction is, that's a lot smaller than I thought it would be. Just because like we talk them up all the time and they just like loom much bigger in my head, and then I see like the actual skeletons and I'm like, whatever. Anyway, my own lack of access to the feeling of wonder aside, I really did enjoy the stream today. Transcendence I can get to. Transcendence I can find and get to, but it's usually really limited to like the psychology, I guess. I get really excited about like, wow, humans sure are amazing and beautiful little creatures. Wow, look at all the things they've done. But like the natural world is not as interesting to me for whatever reason, and that's my own fundamental flaw as a person. But yeah, thank you guys so much for the stream. I really loved this yet again. This is honestly kind of the highlight of my week. So thank you guys so much for being here. I had so much fun talking about all this junk with you guys. Y'all are great to talk to about this stuff. My interest in beans is low, then I'm not gonna get a whole lot out of counting beans. Same goes for dinosaurs. See, absurdity gets it. Absurdity gets it. Okay, guys, I'm gonna hop off. Peace and love. I treasure you, and I hope to see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for coming. It was so much